Welcome to Achievement Butte's DENS Days!
This week, we want you to make a piece of furniture for your den. Now, this can be as easy or as difficult as you want, and it can be big or it can be small. It can be for an indoor den or an outdoor den. Really, it's up to you. So this week, I'm going to make a miniature hammock for the fairy den I made a couple of weeks ago, and it's going to be super easy, so I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So you can use fabric, but I didn't have that, so I got a long shaped leaf from the garden that's kind of like hammock shaped, and then the only other thing you need is two clothes pegs off your washing line. So all you do is pop a clothes peg on each end, and then you have a hammock, the perfect size for your mini den.
Ian's coffee table for his den, complete with drinks holder and glass.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a dream catcher. To make your dream catcher you'll need a circular hoop, mine's wooden, different kinds of coloured thread, decorative feathers and scissors. Just like last time, you make sure you have adult supervision when using these, or get an adult to use them for you. My hoop looks a little worn, so I'm going to take some coloured thread and wrap it around the hoop. The next thing we're going to do is create the web. So the first thing we need to do is we need to tie a knot. So what we're going to do is that we're going to pull tight and stretch our thread to one part of the hoop, then move the thread in that way and pull it across like that. And then you're going to take the rest of your thread and put it through this little opening that you've just made. And then pull that tight. And then you're going to continue this until you get to the end of your hoop. Once you reach where you started, what you're going to do is that you're going to tie a knot. So as you can see, I've made a knot just in the middle of the string here, and what we're going to do is we're going to continue that same pattern. So pull really tightly through the string, then put your string through the new opening that you've just made, and make sure it's as tight as possible. After you've done that, you're just going to cut off the excess, and then we're going to tie a new knot just in the middle in one of these strings here, and we're going to continue the same process that we did last time. So this is me finished the web. I just need to cut off some stray ends, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the hanging feathers.
Now is tie this piece of yellow string around one side of the circle shape. And now I'm just going to wrap it around in a sort of star shape, like this. Right, and I'm going to tie it off, like so. And then I'm going to do the same for two other colours, pink and green.
Next, take your feathers and decide how you want to arrange them. You could either layer them if you want to, or you could just have one on its own. We're going to take some thread and tie the feather to the string. Next, decide where you want to tie your string and just tie it around the web. Okay, so So this is me finished.
Yarn bombing is when you completely cover something by wrapping it in different kinds of yarn. So you can do this to trees, or like this person's doing, to palm leaves, and then they attached it to a plant pot. So your task is to give yarn bombing a go. Do you think you could find anything in your garden or your house that you could cover with the yarn you collected last week?
So for our garden we picked up some leaves from our back garden and a few flowers. Made a little flower garden just outside our den. Make sure before you pick stuff you have asked parents or carers that you're allowed to take out of their nice gardens.
We found a bird hide just lying next to our den, so we put some flowers in it and made a nice little display inside the den.
To make your volcano indoors, you will need a piece of cardboard, some newspaper, a toilet roll tube, some PVA glue, sellotape and scissors. I didn't have any PVA glue, so I made my own by mixing flour and water together. Side note, it's not the best glue, but it does work. So the toilet roll tube will be the main vent of your volcano, so that's where the lava will come out. So you need to decide whereabouts you want it to be. So if you want it to be in the middle or slightly to the side. Attach your toilet paper tube to the piece of cardboard with your sellotape. Don't worry if it's a wee bit messy, it will be covered up later on. Scrunch up all the newspaper and put it around the toilet roll tube until you have the shape of the volcano that you want. My structure, I made mine quite round, so we'll see how it turns out. Next, with your PVA glue, you want to paper mâché some of the newspaper over your structure to smoothen it out a bit for painting. This might need a few coats. So my volcano is kind of looking more like a hill right now, but we're going to keep going. Made your volcano. You can decide if you want to make it erupt, and I'm going to do that by using vinegar and baking powder. So vinegar is acidic and baking powder is a base, which means it's alkaline, so it's the opposite of acidic. And when they combine together, they create water and carbon dioxide. And you'll see what the reaction looks like. Add a few spoons of baking powder to the base of your volcano. Oh, try not to make a mess like I did. Some vinegar. And you pour the vinegar into the centre of the volcano. So, 3, 2, 1. If you don't have any art materials needed to make the indoor volcano, you can make one outdoors just by using toilet paper tubes and mud. In the words of Emma from Emma's Arty Art Show, don't be afraid to get messy.
Today I'm going to show you how to make an easy and simple fishing rod. To do this you will need a branch, a stone, a hook, some scissors and some string. You'll also need some help with an adult. First of all you'll need to cut a long piece of string. Next tie the string underneath a knot in the branch. Next, tie the string around the pebble, leaving enough string to attach your hook. Make sure the knot is secure and then attach your hook onto the end. You might like to add some bait. Wow.
We also want you to make a set of leaf footprints. These are going to help you find your den. So here are some I made earlier.
Next task is to do cloud watching. Go outside and look at the sky, see if you can see any shapes like a dog, a cat, or anything like that.
Your next task is to create a bit of land art. You can do whatever you want, but it has to be on the ground.
Your next task is to create a sun dance. Accept the challenges of week 4. Send any entries in to the Achievement Butte WhatsApp, our Facebook Messenger, or our email. Good luck and happy den building!